Hi everyone, this is Joy with Create It with Joy. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Today's cards are some really cute Valentine's Day cards using critters from Lawn Fawn, and we all know that Lawn Fawn has some really cute critters. For the backgrounds, I used Distress Oxide inks and blended those together to get a really colorful card. So starting off with my first background, this is going to be for the card with the cute little pup on it. I am using Mermaid Lagoon, Blueprint Sketch, and Twisted Citron. And I'm going to be blending those vertically, not horizontally on the card. I usually tend to blend horizontally, and I just wanted to try something different. Actually, I was inspired by Laura Fedora, and I will have her... Laura Basson, I will have her contact information below, but I was inspired by one of her cards where she had some really beautiful inked backgrounds. So I'm going to be blending these together, and I'm just going to be working back and forth between the colors to get a nice, good transition between each color. These colors to me felt like it would match the dog. The stamp set that I'm using are the Say What Pets from Lawn Fawn, and there's a bird, a cat, and a dog, and so I pulled those little critters out first, and then went through my Distress Oxide inks and just kind of thought what goes well, what speaks to me in regards to that cute little critter. So this again is for the pup, and I really love how this background turned out, and I love that when you are blending colors together, you get that extra color between the two blended colors. Something else that I did was spray it with a distress sprayer because Distress Oxide inks are water reactive, and so I did want a little bit of that reaction. Okay, so for this inked background, this is for the cat, and I was kind of thinking of an orange kitty because I love orange kitties, even though my kitty that I colored is not orange. This is spun sugar, spiced marmalade, and squeezed lemonade. Blending those together. I did wipe up my area before I added the spun sugar because it was so light, and I didn't want to carry that spiced marmalade into the pink. So I did clean up my glass media mat before I added the pink. Again, just going back and forth, getting a nice blend, loving the blended colors, making a new color. I just love that about Distress Oxide inks or any inks that you blend together. I love when it makes that third color. Okay, on to the last one, and this is for the bird, and this is Picked Raspberry, Peacock Feathers, and Wilted Violet. Something about these bright colors spoke to me for my bird. You guys that have followed me, I probably have talked about a bird that we have. We have a African gray parrot. Her name is Scratch, and she is 27 years old. She's the same age as my oldest son. We got her about 6 years ago, and she is a ton of fun, and she's quite the talker. And so I don't know, I just kind of thought about her when I was making this card, even though she's gray with red tail feathers. She's absolutely gorgeous, but just something about these colors spoke bird to me. So I'm just going to keep blending these guys, and this on all three backgrounds I added the Distress sprayer to give it that oxide look. And I'm also using like a little scratch piece of paper, if you've noticed, so I don't put fingerprints in the ink. Cleaning up my mess, and then those backgrounds are set aside to dry. So now I'm going to color my little images. The three little critters are from Say What Pets, and that cute little table is from Lawn Fawn's Keep On Swimming. So for the bird, the color for the bird is Y02, 06, and 9. That's for the bird itself, and then YR16 for the nose, R20 for the cheeks, and V09 and 15 for the little perch. The cute little kitty is T1, 3, and 5, C8 for the nose, and R20 for the cheeks. And something I did, I took the T5 on this and for the kitty, and I drew little patterns in the fur, which I really, really loved, and it gave him a little bit more character. Really super, super cute. And then the pup is E31, 35, and 59. I did have, I think it was E57 originally, but then I changed it out because I needed something a little bit darker. But for this kitty, I used that T5 really just for coloring in the patterns in the fur, and then the T3 was basically for the shadows and the shading. I love these little critters. I have a bird and I have dogs. I'm not really a cat person. I have had cats before. My youngest son would love for us to have cats. I think he will be a crazy cat guy when he's older. I think he'll totally love it. So anyways, cute puppy, adding in the shadows, adding in the darker, blending it out with the light. I really enjoyed doing this card because I haven't done coloring in a long time. I've done a lot of die cut cards recently. I've done some work with Spellbinders and getting ready with Cardstock Warehouse, being on the design team with them. And so just a lot of die cutting. And so this was really fun to do some ink blending and to color some of these really cute critters because I haven't done that in so long. Okay, so now I'm going to color this table, and I'm just using the same colors that I did with the dog, E31, 35, and 59. I'm laying down that light color, and then I'm just kind of flicking on with the darkest color, kind of flicking into the center from the sides and down and up to kind of give it the wood grain look. And then I'll go back with E35 over that and go a little further into the center there. And then I will take the E31 and just lightly blend it out because I don't want all of the wood grain look to be gone. And I really loved how this table turned out. And I did color him the same color as the dog because it's not going to be on the same card. So it was good that way. And I'm just going to use the coordinating dies, and I'm going to run that through my die cut machine. I use the Platinum 6 die cut machine from Spellbinders. So I'm going to run that through. And then there's from the Say What Pets die, they have that little speech bubble, as you can see to the right side there. I am going to run that through the die cut machine on this white cardstock. I believe this is the Neenah Classic Crest Solar White cardstock. I'm going to run that through 3 times. So I can have that for their little sayings. Now this die is Memory Box's 8 stitched rectangle die, and it cuts out a little frame piece out of the center, and then I'm going to cut that again out of white cardstock to fill in that frame piece, and then that center piece will pop up big. So now now that all that's die cut, I'm going to glue that to my A2 size card base. The bird background has a bigger frame cutout than the other two because it's a bigger image with that cute little table on the card, but it still is the same look. So I used a tape runner to glue down the outside frame, and now I'm using Lawn Fawn's glue tube. Any liquid glue would work, and I'm running a nice little bead along the inside there so I can put the white frame in. I'm going to inlay that white frame. And I'm going to be doing that on all 3 of these cards. It just fits in there nice and perfect. And it's stitched, so it's really, really cute. So I've done that on all 3 cards. And then I'm taking matching ink from all 3 cards and stamping the sentiments. So for that cute puppy one, it says, "Wanna snuggle?" And then the kitty one says, "You're my person." And the birdie one says, I'm sweet on you. And those sentiments are from Simon Says Stamp. It was a limited edition Valentine's kit from, I think, last year called Love Notes. And it kind of matched some of the sayings from the Say What Pets. So I trimmed those out, and I trimmed them out long so I can trim them off. Now in the Say What Pets, they've got cute little footprints and musical notes. Well, paw prints, not footprints, excuse me. And I'm stamping those along the bottom underneath where the first sentiment strip is going to be. So the cat and the pup are going to have the paw prints, and the bird is going to have the musical notes at the bottom. And then I'll just line that sentiment strip up right there. I lined the first stamped paw prints up to my next panel so I could just kind of have an idea of how tall, because these two cards, the puppy and the kitty, are kind of identical, and the bird one is just a tad bit different. I'm using Simon Says Stamp Intense Black Ink to stamp that up, and now I'm going to get the cute little musical note, because you know these cute little birds just sing and sing and sing. And I'm just kind of getting everything lined up so I know where to stamp the really cute musical notes. I was kind of thinking of putting that music or the sentiment strip across the bottom of the table, but I opted out, which I'm glad. So I'm also stamping kind of off of the cardstock as well, because that just makes it look like it's not floating in the center of the card, almost like this is patterned. So now I'm going to stamp the other sentiments, which say, for the puppy it says, I rough you, and I did that in Twisted Citron. And then You're the Cat's Meow, and I did that in Spiced Marmalade, and You're So Tweet, and I did that in Peacock Feathers. And I stamped that on those cute little die cut speech bubbles that I die cut out at the beginning of the white cardstock. I thought it would just be easier to die cut ahead of time and stamp it in the center, but you could do it the other way around. And I'm kind of just doing assembly line on these cards. Makes it so much easier for me and faster. Okay, so now it's time to get these cards put together. So I'm using a little bit of liquid glue, lining up that sentiment off to the side, off to the left side of that little panel. There is also some foam tape. I had already put foam tape behind these panels because I did want that to be popped up with some dimension. And I'm going to glue all of those, and I'm letting those dry, and then I will trim off all that excess. This I have to line up the table so I know exactly where to put that sentiment. This sentiment is just centered right in the middle. The other two are off to the left-hand side. But isn't that starting to look really cute? Sorry about my head, you guys. I had to make sure that was straight. So I'm going to trim all that off, pull off the backing from my foam tape. You could use foam squares, you could use fun foam. Lining that up on the bottom, and now you can see that white frame, and it's that stitched white frame around there, so it makes the center panel pop up. I'm also going to put foam tape behind the critters and the sentiment strip, or the speech bubble. I want both of those to also have some dimension. And I'm going to do that for all three of the cards. The table I am not putting foam tape behind because I just want that cute little bird to be popped up. So that bird and the speech bubble will have foam tape behind it. Really super cute. I love these little critters. I am so glad that I made these cards, and I think they're really cute Valentine's cards. So now I wanted to add some hearts because I felt like it needed something behind where the cute little critters are, and I am just using it in some of the similar colors for each card, but I kind of want them to be muted, so I'm not using the brightest or darkest of the colors, if that makes sense. And then I put a couple hearts on each speech bubble. So I love how that turned out. I used the pink, I used the picked raspberry and the wilted violet for the hearts on this bird card. And he's just got tons of little hearts. He's a happy little guy. And then I'm using my black glaze pen for the eyes of the critters, and I am using glossy accents for the beak and the noses. Okay, so for the kitty, I am using spun sugar and spiced marmalade, adding some hearts behind, and again, they will also be on that speech bubble. And I'm using 2 different sized hearts. I'm actually using it out of the Love Notes from Simon Says stamp, but Lawn Fawn is just always has tons of hearts in all of their sets, so you could get it out of there too. Just in and around, tons of little hearts because these are happy, cute little critters. And then again, the black glaze pen and the glossy accents for the nose. This is when I realized my glossy accents was very clogged, and it took me a while and I had to clean that out. So, and then I realized I forgot to add hearts to the speech bubble. And so for the pup, it is Blueprint Sketch and Mermaid Lagoon. Again, adding that in and around. And then I will do the same thing with the black glaze pen and glossy accents for the nose. And we are almost done with these cute little critter Valentine cards. Finishing up the last touches. The glossy accents. And here is that cute, cute card. The cute little puppy. And a really fun inked background. And then we've got this cute little kitty card. So, I mean, any of these cards would be great. If you're a dog person, a cat person, a bird person. I love how these turned out. They are so colorful and so much fun. And then there's that cute little bird. I hope you guys really love these cards as much as I do. Thank you so much, you guys, for stopping by. I appreciate all of your support. If you like what you've seen, please thumbs up, subscribe, comment. Please share with your crafty friends. I have some affiliate links below. It costs you nothing, but it does continue to help me create. And again, I appreciate all of your support, and I will be back soon. Bye.